Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, the search for college student Riley Strain ended over the weekend as his body was found in the Cumberland River, and the shooter of Belmont student Julian Ludwig has been indicted.
Also, a historical landmark restaurant is getting closer to closing. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Pennington.
And I'm Elise Sandlin. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
22-year-old Riley Strain went missing 2 weeks ago during a visit to Nashville. The search ended Friday when officials pulled his body from the Cumberland River, 8 miles where he was last seen. On March 8th, Strain was last seen leaving Luke Bryan's bar in downtown Nashville. Strain was allegedly kicked out after having only one drink at the bar. Video footage from surrounding businesses show the Missouri State student stumbling and falling around the streets as he walked. 14 days later, with extensive efforts, his body was located by the barge during routine checks around 7:30 Friday morning. While authorities suspect that no foul play was involved, the investigation is still ongoing.
2 teens are dead in a double homicide with a 7-year-old as a witness. Late Sunday afternoon, outside of Hermitage Flats, 17-year-old Cameron McLaughlin and his unidentified 18-year-old roommate were shot multiple times standing outside of their building, all with their neighbor's 7-year-old daughter to witness it all. The 18-year-old died close to the breezeway, and the 17-year-old died after arriving to Vanderbilt. There are alleged 3 suspects, one of which was seen wearing a ski mask during the incident. No suspects are in custody as they are still searching.
A new breakthrough regarding the case of Belmont student Julian Ludwig has appeared recently. 29-year-old Shaquille Taylor has finally been indicted by a grand jury 5 months after the shooting of Julian Ludwig. Taylor is now being charged with first-degree murder and evidence tampering. Both are felony charges. Taylor has been deemed a repeat offender, having a separate case involving assault with a deadly weapon. Taylor is expected to appear in court in May for separate case charges, and no date has been set for the case connected with Ludwig.
Nashville Metro Police are asking for your help to assist in the search for a suspect who sexually assaulted a 15-year-old boy in Seven Oaks Park. The suspect was last seen wearing a black baseball cap, a black zip-up jacket without a hoodie, blue shorts, a gray shirt, and gray and white tennis shoes, according to investigators. He is also described as a 50-year-old with freckles and crooked teeth. The photo you see on screen is now the official police sketch that has been released. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers and can remain anonymous and qualify for a cash reward.
Last Thursday around 7 in the morning, the MNPD arrested a man for an attack on a rideshare driver. Details about the arrest say that the rideshare driver responded to a request near Foster Street for Jamari Prim. The driver said Prim took too long to get to so he canceled. Prim eventually entered the vehicle to learn that his ride had been canceled, but the driver told him to get out of the way and that he had already accepted another request. The two began arguing and eventually fighting. Then the driver noticed a gun in Prim's pocket shortly after. Officers arrived and took Prim into custody on charges of aggravated assault and gun possession.
After over a year, a settlement has been reached between the city of Laverne and a former police officer. Megan Hall was the former Laverne police officer who took up a sexual harassment case against the city. The former police officer won $500,000 settlement in the case. She and 4 other former police officers were fired by the city after they looked into a sexual misconduct investigation back in February 2023. Hall was represented by Nashville attorneys Wesley Clark, Frank Ross Brazil, and Sarah Ann Mansfield.
A family restaurant is set to be demolished by BNA International Airport. Middle Tennessee News reporter Maya Lakes has the story.
This is Monell's at the Manor, a historic restaurant in a historic building here in Nashville, Tennessee. The property is owned by its next-door neighbors, BNA International Airport. The airport authority is looking to expand, meaning Monell's and the Manor face the threat of demolition. This is owner Michael King.
Our lease ends on the 30th.
You're still for...
And last day will be Sunday the 21st. Because I knew someday they were going to tear it down. Pull us present to where we're at today is they did not renew our lease. They are saying that we had never approached them in wanting to do the lease. We're either 5 minutes away from the miracle, or we have 5 minutes left and we have to pull the plug. They want to come in and just tear the building down. And this building has history all the way back from the late 1890s, and then really strong in the 1940s when it became the Colmere Club.
The Colmere Club and the Manor represent a piece of Tennessee history. Its demolition will be a loss to the culture of Nashville. Monell's family-oriented style dining is a rare sight.
Explain how that works and how we do Monell's. It's a family dining. You sit with other people, some folks you don't know. Sometimes happens. You're in the same state, same hometown. It happens. So I started Monell's. Actually, I know the ownership since 1983. It goes back way back. But I've been working Monell's since 2011, Easter Day.
Even with community efforts to save the manor, the threat of B&A demolishing it still flies over Monell's head. Middle Tennessee News, Maya Lakes.
Thanks, Maya. Monell's will be open until April 21st. Make sure you get to visit before it's too late.
This month, we are celebrating the golden anniversary of the performance of Elvis Presley at the Middle Tennessee State Murphy Center. My co-host Taylor Pennington went to the Murphy Center to find out more on this incredible anniversary.
The MTSU Murphy Center is best known for its incredible basketball court, countless games, and numerous events. But that's not all the Murphy Center has been used for over the years. This building holds the memories of some of the performances of top musicians and artists. Some of these artists were Elton John, Stevie Wonder, the Beach Boys, and of course, the King of Rock and Roll. This March celebrates the 50-year anniversary of the performance of Elvis Presley here at the Murphy Center. I asked MTSU student Mackenzie Sloan what her thoughts were about the 50-year anniversary.
I think it's amazing that we had such an amazing icon like him in the music industry perform here so many years ago, and that we're still celebrating it to this day. Makes it kind of feel like a monument instead of just a regular basketball stadium where people just come and have fun.
Kathy Wood also spoke her thoughts on the King of Rock and Roll as well.
I grew up in Kingston, Tennessee. I never did see Elvis in concert, and what I know most about Elvis was from my brothers and sisters, because they were a big fan, and from his movies. He was a very popular artist, and I do know a lot about him, but I'm not really a big fan of his because I guess he died before my time.
It is always inspiring to look back through time and remember the great people like Elvis who came to visit Middle Tennessee University. Celebrating 50 years, this has been Taylor Pennington with Middle Tennessee News.
If you want to learn more about the performance of Elvis 50 years ago, visit the Murphy Center, where you can find more on the history of his performance here at MTSU.
And now Ryan Martina Lynch joins us with our first look at the weather. What's the weather been like today?
Thanks, Taylor. We have some warmer temperatures coming in today with partly cloudy conditions throughout the areas. Mount Juliet has our highest temperature of the day, sitting at 67 degrees, with Murfreesboro following closely behind with a high of 66. Shelbyville and Woodbury share a high of 65 degrees. McMinnville, Manchester, and Smithville all share our lowest high of the day, sitting at 63 degrees. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, some emotional support animals may have a tough time getting into restaurants, and more opportunities to volunteer and help your community are closer than you think. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
My late friend James Gandolfini and I got to know a lot of combat vets over the years when we were in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And it guts me to know that 22 of you are taking your own lives every day. Yeah, I play tough guys in the movies, but yous are the real tough guys. And the toughest thing to do sometimes is look for help. I want you to know, reaching out is an act of strength. And our friends at Wounded Warrior Project are here to help. You don't have to go it alone.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty, something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. The state of Tennessee passed a new bill that bans emotional support animals in restaurants. Governor Bill Lee recently signed the bill that has banned emotional support animals from restaurants across the state. This new bill restricts emotional support animals that are not trained or being trained from being allowed inside restaurants or other food establishments. The only animals allowed in restaurants are service dogs, police dogs, and fish that are inside of tanks.
Middle Tennessee State University's annual Invention Convention again welcomed over 1,000 students to showcase their creations. These creations ranged from things that make people's lives easier and solve community problems. This convention was established more than 3 decades ago by the College of Education, and this year's event marks this significant milestone. This year, Tracy Huddleston, one of the event directors, and her team celebrated a major expansion with the beginning of the second convention specifically for middle school students. This expansion was made possible through the support of the Jones College of Business.
Middle Tennessee State University is now offering a new asynchronous American Sign Language telecourse. This will be offered through the language training partner of the university's Honors College, the Center for Accelerated Language Acquisition. Students will have the opportunity to learn naturally through games and other hands-on activities. They had previously only had the course available online at designated times, but now students have the option to take the classes on their own time frame. This will work by having classes pre-recorded. That way students will be able to make the classes work around their schedule. Thrift stores have been all over Nashville for years, but recently they've taken on another form. Reporter Aiden O'Neill has the story here.
Nashville's thrifting pop-up shops are appearing at every corner of the city. Before digging into the bins, Gimme More host Analia digs into how the market supports the community.
We're doing a mini mart today, and I hand make all of our merch for the Gimme More markets, and it's all line of cut stamped shirts, one of one, thrifted and vintage clothes, and we donate the proceeds to a different charity each month. So this month it's Women's Month, so we're doing a local charity called Mother to Mother, and they donate to mothers who need diapers, formula, whatever it may be. So that's what we're doing this month, and then it'll change each month. At our events, we'll have everything available for you.
Many avid thrifters are drawn to these markets due to the variety of shops. With these options comes unique items and an array of prices. Reseller Abby Palmer discusses why she started her store, AP Apparel.
I think is the sustainability efforts that vintage reselling does hold, because there are enough garments on the planet Earth to clothe the next 6 generations of people. So I think shopping sustainable is very important. So that's kind of why I do this.
Thrifting lovers will be hanging out at Inglewood Lounge for Gimme More's next event. To learn more, scan the QR code here. In Nashville, Aiden O'Neill, Middle Tennessee News.
Thanks, Aiden. Gimme More Market's next event is next Saturday. Go check it out at Inglewood Lounge.
The Murfreesboro Community Garden is a great place to volunteer this spring. MTN reporter Liv Rapier has the story.
The Murfreesboro Community Garden started 10 years ago. 10 years later, lots of volunteers, lots of input, lots of help, lots of community support.
The Murfreesboro Community Garden is tucked away in the middle of town right outside the square. Located at 806 East State Street, it's on a plot donated by Key Memorial Methodist Church.
Yeah, we took it right away, didn't know what we were doing, and now we do.
I've been coming here since 2018, and it's just a good place for community members and people in the neighborhood to gather together.
The The garden is open to volunteers on Saturdays from 10 to 12 and welcomes anyone who wants to help.
You know, kids come to the garden. We host classes. We host church groups and after-school groups and field trips and all that kind of stuff.
My first time coming here, I got to meet a ton of new friends.
A lot of people are so disconnected from, you know, where our food comes from and how vegetables grow. That it's just fun to get to show the kids how to do that.
For more information, visit murfreesborocommunitygardening.com or find them on Instagram as Embro Garden.
Thanks, Liv. The garden is open every Saturday from 10 to 12. Go check it out. And now Ryan is back with tonight's forecast. How are those nightly temps looking? Better than last week?
Thanks, Taylor. We do have a pretty rainy night evening tonight with showers covering all areas with possible thunderstorms. Our lows tonight, however, are on the warmer side. Murfreesboro leads the way with a low of 58 degrees, followed by Woodbury, Shelbyville, and Mount Juliet, all sitting at a low of 57 degrees. McMinnville and Manchester share a low of 56 degrees, and Smithville has our lowest temperature of the night, sitting at 55 degrees. As for the humidity tonight, we have Shelbyville with a humidity of 64%, followed by Manchester with a humidity of 62%. Woodbury, Smithville, and Mount Juliet share a humidity of 61%. Murfreesboro and McMinnville have our lowest humidity tonight, sitting at 60%. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. When we get back from break, Ryan will be back with our full 5-day forecast, and we'll also be in the MTN Sports Den with a look into what the next week holds for sports.
Serving the nation's poor and vulnerable regardless of faith, and advocating on their behalf, we are Catholic Charities.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Miss Lee, this is Agent Williams from the tax office. Our records show an unpaid balance on your account. If you don't pay by end of day, you'll be facing jail time. Well, the fastest way to fix this is with a prepaid debit card. Can you go get one now? Yes, and we want to clear this up. If you just buy that prepaid card, put $400 on it, then call me back and read the numbers to me.
The moment they ask for a prepaid card is the moment you know something's wrong. Think before you send money. Learn more at scamawareness.org.
It started with the original care package, and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Some places have the power to transform us, connect us, move us. This is the power of place, the power of parks and open spaces to improve cities, communities, and ourselves. This is the work of the Trust for Public Land, putting open space within reach of every person in America. Help us create the power of place and healthier, happier communities nationwide.
Here is Ryan once again for our 5-day forecast. What's in store for us this week?
Thanks, Taylor. We have some warmer weather coming in over the next 5 days with some nice conditions. Today we have a high of 66 degrees with partly cloudy conditions and a low of 58 degrees tonight. However, with a 99% chance of showers this evening, so keep that umbrella close. Today we have a high of 71 degrees with some light morning showers and a low of 41 degrees that night with clear conditions. Wednesday we have a high of 62 degrees with beautiful sunny conditions, good enough to go golfing, and a low of 39 degrees with cloudy conditions that evening. Thursday we'll have partly cloudy conditions with a high of 64 degrees and a low of 35 degrees that evening with clear conditions again throughout the night. Friday we'll have a high of 70 degrees with mostly sunny conditions and a low of 49 degrees that evening with partly cloudy conditions throughout the night. So if you plan on going out, maybe just keep a jacket with you. That's all I have for your full 5-day forecast. Taylor, back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. And still ahead, Ryan's going to hop into the MTN Sports Den to talk Lady Raiders basketball, and the Stewart's Creek cheer team has been on a roll. More on that when we return.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin. But I'm gonna drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to the MTN Sports Den. First up, Blue Raider women's basketball is back from Baton Rouge and their NCAA tournament trip. After upsetting Louisville in the first round, things did not go according to plan against the third-seeded LSU Tigers. MTSU had a 4-point lead going into the half, but the Tigers roared back, outscoring the Blue Raiders 51-20 in the second half. Angel Reese and Anisha Morrow could not be stopped, both recording double-doubles. Foul trouble would be an issue for the Blue Raiders as they did commit 31 personal fouls, sending the Tigers to the free throw line 37 times. At the charity stripe, the Blue Raiders would go 6 for 9, while LSU was 26 for 37. Savannah Wheeler would finish the game with 21 points and 5 assists. With the season over, the Blue Raiders, there is plenty to look back at: an undefeated conference regular season and regular season conference tournament champions, as well as 2 conference players of the year. Next, Stewart's Creek JV competitive cheer team has been on a successful run of late. Middle Tennessee News reporter Kylie McLemore takes us tumbling with their cheer squad.
In the world of high school cheerleading, the spotlight shines brightly on one exceptional team. The Stewart's Creek JV Redhawks have once again clinched victory, securing their 6th consecutive national title. Last month, the Redhawks traveled to Orlando to compete at the National High School Cheerleading Championships. Senior member Chloe Harris says the road to victory starts well before competition season.
It was a really hard regimen. But it was also very satisfying. The more work you put in, the more satisfying the win is. So it was definitely all worth it in the end. But a lot of summer conditioning, a lot of running the mile under 9 minutes, a lot of intense training in order to be able to have such a great routine.
But for the Redhawks, that hard work paid off. Going into finals day, the Hawks were in 3rd place. They were determined to keep their streak alive. One varsity team member, Ethan Fleener, shares his thoughts on the relentless effort required to reach the top.
Never give up, and then also, I would say, work harder than anyone else, because there are people out there who are going to be working harder than you, and so you have to work harder than them.
High school cheerleaders dream of winning a white jacket. For Stewart's Creek, their dreams once again became reality. Harris speaks on what this championship means to her.
Winning a national championship told me that I was capable of anything, and that sounds so cheesy, but it's so real. It's whenever you don't expect something and then you ended up achieving it, it's just amazing.
Congratulations to the 2024 Junior Varsity Co-Ed National Champions. This is Kylie McLemore, Middle Tennessee News.
Past few years, and now they are looking to add at least one more sport to the roster. MTN sports reporter Jay Standridge gets online with the MTSU Esports Club.
Middle Tennessee State University is known for their Division I sports teams, but inside of room 137 of the Business and Aerospace building sits a different type of school sports team.
Monday we have Valorant, Tuesday we have Splatoon, Thursday we have Overwatch, Friday we have Rocket League. So all of these games are competing at different times, and most of them compete in the lab or from home.
MTSU Esports is a school-recognized club that competes in the National Esports Collegiate Conference, or the NECC.
So I think a large part of MTSU Esports' growth in the last year or so would be the new addition of this lab right here. In the past, we've never really had a space for all of our members to congregate.
The NECC boasts over 400 schools and universities, and each compete against each other for a shot at a national championship.
And in addition to all the growth that we have experienced recently, Conference USA, the D1 conference that MTSU competes in for games such as football, basketball, everything else, they're actually expanding into esports in the coming years. They made that announcement, and we're just waiting to see what that entails because they haven't released too much information, but it's very exciting.
After speaking with staff advisor Richard Lewis, he says as of now, the club runs through the recreational center on campus and is treated as such.
I think, scholarships and recruiting and having sort of, full-time coaching and things like that, just like any of the other sports would be needed.
If all goes well for the CUSA, this program could join the ranks of the most prominent sports on campus. Jay Standridge, Middle Tennessee News.
Thanks, Jace. The Sports Den is looking forward to more coverage in the future with esports and its members. That's all I have from the Sports Den. Guys, back to you.
Thank you for joining us on Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net. I'm Elise Sandlin, joined by Taylor Pennington and Ryan Martinelich.
Make sure to follow us on all of our social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or @MiddleTN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you on Wednesday, March 27th for our next show.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.